We'll be starting now, 10 minutes delay so that everyone can come. I hope everyone has come. If not, you should message them so that they can come as early as possible. But we are starting now. So I'll just start with the first topic, what is web? Now I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let, let's start quickly. So it's a 30-minute topic. Means we have assigned it 30 minutes. So it should be over in not more than 30 minutes. We'll start. It's just basics. We are not going in much detail, and I am assuming that you are not familiar with web in general. Okay, so this will be a very starting from very scratch. So don't be worried. If you have any doubt, ask it. Will be and after this, even if you have doubt, you can ask in the Discord server or yeah, in the Discord server. So that's the best way you can ask the doubt. And there will be tasks associated with this so that you will be thorough with this topic. This is something which many of the developers overlook, and they don't have the the this. If you know this topic, you have the power to means, develop your application in specific ways which optimize your application. And if you don't have this power, you will just be coding as others, as you look at others, right? You will not be coding according to what you want. You'll be just coding what you see, whatever you saw the example, and you will coding that. So if you know what web technologies are, how they are constructed, you can optimize your or your coding pattern according to web application you are building. So that is where this topic is very powerful, and you should definitely pay attention to this. So we'll be starting. So we'll first be building up web. So what we will be doing to understand what is web in general, we are doing web development, so something must be web. So we'll be starting from scratch and trying to build something which we will call web. So we'll be starting from scratch and seeing how the web is built. Then we'll look at HTTP, which is the protocol which handles web technologies. And don't get scared. I'll cover HTTP beforehand and give you a brief intro about it, and then we'll go into the specifics. And then what new tech is emerging and why is web getting more and more exciting to study. So that will be covered, and upcoming what we have upcoming for you in the web development series, this workshop. I hope everyone is going along. If anybody has any problem, please.
Nahi.
Okay. So first is let's build web. The first topic. What's web? Just making computers transmit pages. So what is web? Just allowing computers to transmit web pages and allowing them to display them. So using some kind of protocol, using some kind of languages, we transmit those pages and they're displayed beautifully with our eyes. Even what I'm currently sharing is a web application, the slides application, Google Slides application. So everything is nowadays web. So that's the so, but how to transmit? Okay, so okay, we need to transmit between computers. My computer is receiving this web page from another computer, but how to transmit? That should be some sort of connection. So that's the first. The first hurdle is having that connection. So how will we connect that? We'll connect with wires, of course. The most basic form of connection is wires. Forget about Wi-Fi for now. Wireless technologies. We are just concerned about wires. So how will we communicate between two computers? We connect it with wires, and they will put the data on the wire, and it will go to the other computer. So that's the basic form of connection we are having. तो मतलब हिंदी में कि हम लोग को एक कंप्यूटर से दूसरे कंप्यूटर अगर कुछ भेजना है तो ऑफकोर्स उनके बीच में कुछ कनेक्शन होना चाहिए. ठीक है, हम अगर एज अ ह्यूमन बोलते हैं तो चिल्ला के दूसरे को बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन कंप्यूटर साउंड मतलब साउंड को रिकॉग्नाइज करना उतना अच्छे से नहीं आता कंप्यूटर से, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट इंटेलिजेंट एज इन दे आर बिकमिंग इंटेलिजेंट. वो इंटेलिजेंट होते जा रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि वो साउंड के बेसिस पे डिटेक्ट करता है. तो हम लोग उनको केबल्स में बाइनरी केबल्स लगाते, केबल्स कनेक्ट करते हैं और बाइनरी डाटा उसके अंदर डालते हैं. तो एक कंप्यूटर से दूसरे कंप्यूटर डाटा जाता है, और पूरा जो बेसिस है वेब एप्स का, वो एक कंप्यूटर से दूसरे कंप्यूटर डाटा जाता है, उसी के ऊपर है. ठीक है, हम लोग एक दूसरे से डाटा शेयर करते हैं. तो so what if we want to access another computer, और कोई कंप्यूटर हमको चाहिए इसमें. ठीक है, हमारा दो ही कंप्यूटर का नेटवर्क है, इसको नेटवर्क कहते हैं. दो कंप्यूटर्स को ज्वाइन कर दिया, नेटवर्क हो गया. तो अब हमको एक और कंप्यूटर चाहिए, तो हमने एक और कंप्यूटर ऐड कर दिया. ठीक है, लेकिन अब जैसे जैसे तुम एक और, जैसे अगर तुमको एक और कंप्यूटर ऐड करना है, तुम देख रहे हो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज काफी बढ़ रही है, तो इसका कनेक्शन इसके साथ, इसका कनेक्शन इसके साथ, इसका कनेक्शन इसके साथ, और ऐसे ऐसे बढ़ते जाएगा, तो काफी कॉम्प्लेक्स हो रहा है। तो हमको और सिंप्लीफिकेशन चाहिए नेटवर्क टेक्नोलॉजीज में। तो हम इट्स गेटिंग कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, तो वी कैन हैव वन कंप्यूटर ट्रांसमिट द इंफॉर्मेशन टू अदर रेदर देन डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन, बट व्हाई शुड माय कंप्यूटर बी दैट वन? तो ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि कंप्यूटर को तुम भेज रहे हो और वो दूसरे को भेज रहा है, तो डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन का तुम वायर नहीं लगा रहे हो, लेकिन फिर वो बीच वाला कंप्यूटर क्यों सफर करे, क्यों अपना रिसोर्स उसको दे कि वो ट्रांसफर करे इसको? तो हम कोई सोल्यूशन पे आते हैं। वो सोल्यूशन है कि एक बीच में स्विच लगता है, स्विच या राउटर जैसा जो भी बोलो तुम। तो वो क्या करता है कि सारे डाटा लेता है जो सेंड करने वाला उससे, और जिसको भेजना रहता है उसको भेज देता है, ठीक है। द स्विच इन बिटवीन ट्रांसमिट द मैसेज टू डेस्टिनेशन, दिस इज अ मोर प्रॉपर नेटवर्क, ये एक अच्छा नेटवर्क है। तो अब सबको कनेक्ट कर देते हैं हम, अब हम क्योंकि वेब से हम लोग अब पूरी दुनिया से कनेक्टेड है। आपको यूएस के कंप्यूटर एक्सेस करने, आप यूएस के सर्वर्स को लॉग इन कर सकते हैं उनके डोमेन नेम से। तो पूरी दुनिया एक नेट में कनेक्टेड है, जिसको हम इंटरनेट कहते हैं, इंटरनेशनल नेटवर्क, इंटरनेटवर्क। तो तो जैसे देख सकते हो तुम, ये छोटे छोटे नेटवर्क्स हैं, जैसे अपने में ही नेटवर्क्स हैं, बीच में जो ब्लैक है वो स्विच है, बीच में जो ब्लैक है वो स्विचेस है, और वो आपस में इंटरकनेक्टेड है, तो एक तरह से नेटवर्क ऑफ नेटवर्क्स है। तो एक हमारा एक नेटवर्क रहेगा 4-5 कंप्यूटर में, और उसकी जो स्विच रहेगी, जो उसका राउटर रहेगा, वो दूसरों से कनेक्टेड रहेगा, तो नेटवर्क ऑफ नेटवर्क्स, तो इसको इंटरनेट कहते हैं। और इसी के ऊपर वेब चलता है, तो यहीं से अगर वेब से हमने कुछ रिक्वेस्ट किया, तो यहीं ये लिंक से, ये कंप्यूटर को समझ लो चाहिए, तो ये कंप्यूटर से आता है डाटा, फिर इसके थ्रू जाता है और फिर हमारे पास आता है, तो ऐसे ही डाटा आता जाता है। और बेसिस यही है कि हम लोग कुछ यूआरएल डालते हैं, तो हम बोलते हैं कि कुछ डाटा भेजो उधर से, और फिर वहां से इंटरनेट के थ्रू वो आता है, इसलिए हमको वेबसाइट यूज करने के लिए इंटरनेट लगता है, इंटरनेट इस काम आता है। तो ये जैसे जो राउटर से, ये तुम्हारे आईएसपी हो सकते हैं, एयरटेल वगैरह के, और फिर वो आपस में कनेक्टेड है दूसरों से, तो वो हमको सर्विस देता है इंटरनेट, ठीक है। बट हाउ डू वी आइडेंटिफाई पर्टिकुलर कंप्यूटर एंड वेयर इज इट लोकेटेड? तो मतलब समझ लो मेरे को जयदेव को भेजना है डॉक्यूमेंट, ठीक है, लेकिन जयदेव का कंप्यूटर कहाँ पे, कौन सा कंप्यूटर है? अब इतना बड़े कंप्यूटर में जयदेव का कंप्यूटर कौन सा है, कैसे पहचानेंगे? जो हमारा स्विच है, हम स्विच को भेजेंगे अपना पैकेट, और स्विच को भेजना है ना वो डाटा, तो स्विच कैसे ढूंढेगा कि कहाँ पे है जयदेव का कंप्यूटर, जैसे मेरे को भेजना है तो वो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? ऑफ कोर्स हम लोग नेम और एड्रेस दे सकते हैं उसका, जैसे हम लोग अपने पोस्ट कार्ड में करते हैं, हम पोस्ट कार्ड में नाम लिख देते हैं और एड्रेस लिख देते हैं, और वो पोस्ट कार्ड डिलीवर हो जाता है डेस्टिनेशन पे। और हम भी वही करेंगे, हम अपने मैसेज पे नाम लिख देंगे कंप्यूटर का और उसका एड्रेस लिख देंगे, और वो डाटा ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा। तो वही वही हम करते हैं, लेकिन क्योंकि हर चीज को यूनिक रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि दो का सेम एड्रेस और नाम नहीं हो सकता,
हेलो
नहीं तो फिर कंफ्यूजन होगा। हेलो हेलो।
हेलो
हाँ
हेलो
बोलिए।
अभिषेक सर। हाँ सर,
हाँ,
इंग्लिश में बोलिए सर।
अच्छा क्या हिंदी में प्रॉब्लम है लोगों को?
हाँ, करवत बोल रहा था सर, चैट में
हाँ हाँ।
बोल रहा। हाँ सर।
अच्छा, तो ठीक है। तो बट हाउ डू यू आइडेंटिफाई पर्टिकुलर कंप्यूटर एंड वेयर इज इट लोकेटेड? तो मैं, अच्छा ठीक है, इधर से बोलता हूँ। तो हमने देखा कि इंटरनेट जो है, we saw that internet is a network of networks. So we have a network at home. We have 2-3 computers, 4-5 computers connected with a switch, and then the switch is connected to other switches which are connected to other networks. So internet is kind of a network of networks. So everything is connected in internet, and over which the websites run. So website is just a transmission of data. Website is a collection of data which runs on this data line, this services. So there is a computer in US which we are accessing right now by typing maybe google.com. Okay, so that's not very accurate, but that's what's happening. You are accessing another computer's content through these links. So data is being transmitted. The whole web architecture rests on this networking technology, and which is the internet. So internet is the backbone, you can say. So, but how can I identify a computer in a network? I want to send like our basic objective was to connect to networks and try to communicate. But now the connection is so large, and I want to send someone a file, say Jaydev. So how would I identify which computers to send? There are so many computers. So what we do is we assign, of course, as we do in postcards and letters, we assign every computer a name and an address, so that we just write the name of the computer and address of the computer on the packet or the message, and the message is delivered by the switches or other things. So, but to avoid same names, or to avoid same names. We don't want anyone to have the same name, because then that will create a confusion. Who to send, this one or that one? So everything should be unique. So we use a standardized method which is called IP addressing. So as you can see, this is the IP address. So it contains the name. The host ID is the name of that computer, and the network ID is the network which network it is located. So it contains the whole address where the message should be delivered. So we give this we append this information before our message, and the router takes it and reads this address and then delivers it like a postman, just like a postcard, how you post it. So as you can see, the IP address are quite complex. What is your address? He's asking, and you, if you hear that, and you will give a complex too. So kind of hard to remember, right? So what we have is domain names. So these are the beautiful names that you see: Google.com, and the .com is the top level domain that can be org, and nowadays edu,
Uh,
tech, and everything is there.
Hello, sir.
हाँ,
Sir, Karvet. Sir, slow,
बोल लो.
slow.
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है. So slowly, so we came to addresses. So if we want to transfer our data, we require an address where to transfer. Like I want to transfer to Jaidev, so we want an address, and that addressing is done through IP addresses like these numbers: 192.168.1.34. So where this is network ID, so we identify the network, which network it is situated in. You know that internet is internet is a network of network. So there are multiple networks connected within a network. So we identify that which network is that and which host is there. So this is done through switches. So we give our data to the switch, and the switch delivers it. So that's how, like, it's very synonymous to how we transfer postcards and everything. So we specify an address and the postman delivers it. Similarly, that happens. So data transmission is done in this one. So as you can see, IP address is not very good looking and good to remember, easy to remember. So we have domains. Domains are English alphabetical names given to the IP addresses, which we can read. Okay. So, but they are not, like, they are names, that they are not addresses. So we cannot use them directly to identify where to send the packet. Like Google.com, where is it situated? We don't know anything. So we need to convert this Google.com into its IP address, which is done through special kind of devices which translate this. They store that Google.com's IP address is this, and whenever we type google.com, they convert it into the IP address and then send the request. So that's how it is done. So we just have to remember the names. So as you can see, the HTTPS is a protocol. We'll come to that. What is a protocol? www is a subdomain. This is domain, and this is top level. Everything is domain here. So you don't have to go into much detail in that. We'll be going maybe voluntarily afterwards. So, okay, everything established, we know the address, but how do we communicate? We cannot just dump data into the service and expect them to hear. Like, where to append the address? We should append it at the back, or we should append it at the front end. Front end means the front side of the message, or there should be some between stuff. So how and what should I write in the address? Like just the IP address, or some like IP address colon IP address? How should it be formatted? How are these things going to happen? We need a standard, so that maybe I am appending it the address forward and someone else is appending it backward. We need a standard so that everyone follows the same standard, and the routers can be programmed so that look at the first line is the address, that sort of programming, so that will be easy to send the data. So that's what protocols do. They specify a format in which you should structure your message, you have done in 9 10 standard. Letter writing stuff to the principal and then subject, and that same what we do in this. You write your message in between, and the headers are at the top, and you specify everything like whom it is going, what is in the letter, the subject or the content type, you say in programming sense. So that's what protocols do, but we are not going into details. Like we are just going over the stuffs and just understanding the technologies, how these are working. The protocol like TCP/IP is mainly which handles these type of things. And if you want, you can go ahead and look it up on the internet, but this will not be covered here. Okay, so let's go. So, but what is web? We looked at the internet. Okay, we don't look at the web now. So web is different and internet is different. That's a common misconception which people have, and you should not as a web developer. Okay. So what is web? So let's look at a textbook definition. Let's go through it together. Okay. Web pages are formatted in language called hypertext markup language. So they are formatted pages. They are not just written in any language like English, Latin. They are formatted in a specific language. Okay, language like English, language like Hindi. They have a syntax. You have to follow a syntax, and that's what HTML is. Okay, they are formatted in HTML. It is this language that allows user to click through pages on web via links. So one of the main when web was evolving, it was evolving like we have connected the computers. Okay, we have connected the computers. That's the internet. And over that, there are different technologies like the FTP, which is the file transfer protocol, where you just send the files. That's not web. Okay, you just take a file and send it over the network with appending the address and all that. Okay, so that's not web. Web, as you see, is you click links, you go to different links, and different pages are linked. So this hyperlinking of pages, hyperlinking and hypertext, that's where the web part comes in. The pages are linked. You can go from one page to another. Okay. So we use the HTTP protocol, of course. The web uses HTTP protocol to transmit data and share information. We'll come to HTTP protocol later. Browsers such as Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox are used to access web documents or web pages which are connected via links. So we require special software to browse web. Okay, the web browsers. So they load the page and they parse the language and they display in pretty format. You can see images, you can see that. So that was the plus point of web. So web runs over the internet. Okay, internet is different and web is different, and there are different other kind of technologies like FTP, SMTP. FTP is used for simple file transfer. There is a PDF and it goes. You cannot click it. You cannot go from a PDF to another one. That's the static content. You just get that content and download it on the system. Then there is mails. Again, mails are linear content. They cannot take you to other sites. Now, nowadays you can browse Gmail and then they are taking you to other site because the Gmail is running on the web technology itself. But before HTTP was integrated with web mail, you could not do that. You just received a text document of mail and that's it. Okay, you cannot go from one page to another. So Tim Berners-Lee was the one who did this, like the linking of pages, and called it web. So you can see, the pages are linked to one another and they form a web kind of structure. That's why it's called World Wide Web. So in short, it enables us to transmit pages which interact and redirect to others. So there are interactive pages. They are not static pages, and they redirect to others also. They have linking, so they can link to others. It runs on the internet. Okay. Otherwise, you would have to download all stuff using it. Like if there was no web, you would have gone to a site and then downloaded the file and then looked at it. Then downloaded another file and then looked at it. So that was the structure before, and you cannot go from one file to directly to another one and then browse it dynamically. So there was no responsiveness. So that's what web is. Okay, and that's what we are programming, building websites. Websites are just the representation of web, and we program it so that they represent it. So that's it. So that's all web is. So if there is any doubt, you can ask it on chat, and Garvit will relay it to me. Okay. I think that was very basic, and that's just connection and a pretty format of data sent over that connection. Okay, that's what. So let's come to HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Let's study what happens under requesting a website. When we request a website, what happens? Okay, everything is followed through a protocol. Like computers are not intelligent. Okay, they cannot understand stuff. You said to the computer, "भाई मुझे कुछ search करके दे दे." You cannot do
Uh,
that to computers.
hello,
You can, हाँ, हाँ sir,
सर
गर्वित,
एफ गर्वित सर हाँ एफटीपी क्या है मतलब
हाँ,
एफटीपी का कुछ
FTP मतलब फाइल ट्रांसफर प्रोटोकॉल. उसमें क्या करोगे आप कि आप फाइल अपनी एक कंप्यूटर से दूसरा कंप्यूटर सेंड कर सकते हैं. बस यू कैन जस्ट सेंड योर फाइल टू वन कंप्यूटर अनदर कंप्यूटर. So it will be downloaded and you will see in your file browser. It will not be interactive, right? You cannot click in a file and then go to another file. That's not what happens in file transfer. File transfer protocol, only just the file transfers happen, nothing interactive over there. Just files are loaded and they are served. Like some computer has it and you request it and you get it through a download link. Okay, that's just what is FTP, file transfer. And initially, in the initial stages, the internet was established for this reason alone. They were established at the military services. They were established at the colleges level so that they can transfer files. So that is the history of web. Okay. गर्वित कुछ होगा तो बता
Sir,
सकते हैं तो ठीक है हाँ
sir, difference between web and internet once again.
अच्छा वेब और इंटरनेट जो है इंटरनेट इज जस्ट द कनेक्शन ऑफ नेटवर्क ओके जस्ट कनेक्शन it is connected and now you can run FTP over it, you can run anything over it, you can transfer anything if you connect your if you connect you can do it yourself also, you can create your own protocol and connect two networks to socket programming. Okay, so web is an established standard how we communicate with computers. It's an established standard. We use HTML to communicate in this standard. Okay, so HTML is formatted web pages so that they can format it like you type a Word document and like you do bold stuff and format stuff. That's what web pages are. They are just like Word documents, but they are written in special language, not with mouse and all. They are written in special language called HTML, and then they have take a help of CSS. So whatever we deal with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these all technologies are web that allow us to interact with website. Okay, that's web, and
Sir,
internet is just a
slow.
connection. अच्छा ठीक
Uh,
है. Internet
uh,
is just the connection. Web is something that runs over it. To provide, I mean, that's a standard that you should use HTML to serve the document. You can do multiple stuff. Okay, web is just one of them. Websites, so and that all the things. Okay, just one of them. Internet is just connection, nothing else. But what you do on that connection is web. Like you specify HTTP and then HTML and JS and CSS, then you transmit. That's web. Okay, so internet is kind of the hardware and web is kind of the software, you can abstractly say that. So let's go to HTTP if there are no doubt uh, any more doubts. Okay, whatever. So we move on to HTTP, hopefully slowly. HTTP is the protocol. Like the computers are not intelligent, like they are getting nowadays. AI is coming, and maybe they will replace these protocols. Maybe soon, in like 5 to 6 years, there will be new protocols. Protocols are for the help of computers. Okay, computers cannot understand natural language. You cannot say like मैं HTML भेज रहा हूँ और मैं ये डाटा है और you cannot format it anyways. Like we अगर हम human है तो हमको ऐसा दिख गया तो हम समझ सकते हैं क्योंकि हमारे अंदर थोड़ा इंटेलिजेंस है. लेकिन हम जब वेब टेक्नोलॉजीज की बात करें तो हम लोग एक प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करते हैं कि भाई पहले ये आना चाहिए, फिर ये आना चाहिए, फिर ये आना चाहिए. फर्स्ट समथिंग हैज टू कम एंड देन अदर थिंग्स. ओके, that's what protocol is, specifying what comes where. Okay, so HTTP is that specifies what comes where, so that the parsing is easier. और अगर आपने natural language processing लगा भी दी machine learning से, even if you implement natural language processing to do that, that will take a lot of time. So just follow particular format and that will be easy, right? The browser will pass it easily. Let's move. So what's our client? What are clients and servers? Client is the one who makes the request. Server is the one who delivers the request. So the whole web is request and response, request and response. I want to go to google.com, so I will request google.com, and the google.com will send HTML files, the CSS files, and that will be displayed in my browser. So just requesting and response. The one who responds is the server, like google.com IP address is the server, and I'm the client because I'm asking it. So as you can see, the image is courtesy of Google. I have not created it from scratch. So this is a web server. You request it through HTTP, and then you get a HTTP response. Both are HTTP. Okay, you write HTTP, and that's the protocol which web servers use. Okay, this is a web server. Okay, this is a web server. There can be many types of servers. This is a web server which is serving the websites. Web, everything is web. Okay, so this is the server. Client is requesting the data and server is providing the data. Though here it is more proactive. This is not how it happens. Server client requests and waits, and server sends. Okay, that's how it. That's just a wake up punch for you. Now, what are the types of requests? So there are specified types you can have for request. There is get request, which is the simple request. You request a page on the page on google.com, like say page with query hello world, or you request some sort, which is one of the common sites. You request Facebook for a particular groups page or for a particular profile page. You're just requesting the data. Just getting. Post is something submitting your data. You want to add your data on server. When you create an account for Facebook, your data gets added on the server. So that you have to post it. You are posting the data. Okay. Then put. Put is editing the data, okay, updating it. So you have a profile on Facebook, but now you want to edit your data. So we follow a format called put request. And okay, the last one is wrong. That should be delete. Instead of post, it should be delete. So that deletes the data on server. That's just common. So what's HTTP? It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So it is a protocol to transfer the web stuff. So it's just transferring. It's a protocol. And naturally it contains rules and regulations. So it's just the rules and regulations. How should you transfer? Just that. Essentially, you are transferring documents. Essentially, you are transmitting HTML files. You are transmitting CSS files. You are transmitting JavaScript files, but with a proper rules and regulation format that you have to specify. Okay, it allows the browser to know what type of stuff we are going to transfer, so that it can parse it accordingly. So if you specify like I am transferring HTML, so it will parse it as a HTML and display it beautifully. Like wherever there is a bold tag, it will bold the text, and you will learn it in the later workshops. Then if you specify it in JSON, then it will pass as JSON. So you're just telling that this is the type of content I'm sending. It also contains information whether our request was successful or not. So there are stuff like whether the request you sent was successful or not, means you sent a GET request and there was there is no such URL like that. So you get a 404. You have seen that, right? Sometimes you get 404, 404. So 404 is a status code. It's telling that there's no page that you are requesting, right, on the server. So that's the code. It also contains, okay, that's done, I think. And everything is in the header. So what we do is attach everything to the head. Okay, we attach everything, every information to the head, and then rest is the data. Okay, the data, the files and all that. And in the header is the where we want to send, what is the policy, what is the content type, what are we sending, that is, and like that. So this slide is courtesy of Traversy Media from youtube.com. So I've just taken it and installed it because the slide is good. So as you can see, if you can see, there's the method is get, okay, and this is the path. This is the protocol HTTP 1.1. HTTP 2 is also available, which supports request multiplexing. Like what we do currently is send a request and then get a response. Okay, single request and then a response. But what you can do in HTTP 2 is you can send multiple requests at a time and get multiple response at a time. So that is HTTP 2. It's coming. I don't know whoever is following it. Then there is the host, the user agent. So it's a sample HTTP header. So it's all here. So if you are not able to see it, don't worry. So the general headers are request URL, the URL which will come to the structure of URL later. The URL is just the address which you type, right? Just what you type in the address bar of that and of your browser. Request method, which type of method is there? Get, put, post, delete, which you saw. Status code, what is the status code of the request? Like 200 means okay, yeah, that's good and everything. Remote address, which is what is the address, and then referral policy. If it's been referred from a referral, that's the deep stuff. Okay, you don't need to know that, so I will not be telling so that you don't get confused. Then in the response is what server sends us. Okay, the server is sending us the client. Okay, server is sending the client. So response header is server, where is server address, set cookie. If there is some kind of storage, like if server wants to store something in our browser, like the client's browser, if it wants to store something, it's cookie. You will come to that. I will not go into details of that. Okay. Content type, what is the content type, like HTML or JSON or whatever. क्या भेज रहा हूँ मैं, असल में क्या है अंदर. Content length, कितना बड़ा है, how large it is, so that it can read from that size. And then what is the date? Okay, so that's just like the headings on a letter. You write a letter writing contest or whatever the papers were. You just mention it at the top, like to and subject and date and stuff. That's what it is. Okay, the main content is between. So request, what is this? The cookies, whatever the cookies were made by the server. Here the cookies set is being built, and here the cookies are being sent. Then this accept. Then the content type, the content length, and authorization is not a user agent, which is the browser or whatever client here is, and the referral if you have been referred from other side. Okay. So that means whatever the metadata is there, like whatever the stuff the browser needs to know. This is not what you need to know, but when you will do web development, you may want to, sometimes fiddle around with this headers in advance, but advanced version. But you must know that HTTP, what is HTTP and what are headers. Okay? So these are the status code. One is a request received and it's processing. If the code is 100 and 101, 102, so that is. Then 200 is okay, success. You have seen it. 201 okay created if something is being created. And then 300 is used for redirecting. Like 301 is for moving to new URL. The site has moved to new URL. And 304 is cached version. Like if the site was caching is something like if the site we have load once, we don't load it another time if it has not changed. Okay, why should we download the data again if the site is the same? Then 400 is client error, means that whatever the request you have sent is something wrong. Like maybe the URL is wrong, maybe if you have sent any name that is wrong, so that something is error. And 500 is server error, like the server is maybe it is shut off or something like that. So 500 is internal server. That's it. 502 is bad gateway. So that's our status code. That tells us how are the requests and responses processed. Okay. So is it good? Is it going good? 200 is good. Okay. 300 is also good, but it is redirecting. 400 is something is wrong from client side, that is our requesting side. 500 is like something is wrong from the server side, whoever is serving. We send the request correctly, but and how to request, we just type the URL in the URL bar for get request. Okay, for get request, you may remember there are different types. So you can see this is the protocol HTTPS. HTTPS is just the secure version of HTTP. It is encrypted. Then this is the domain. This is the path, and these are query. You will be learning that and these are the fragment. Okay, that's something that comes later. And this is the post request. So post is again, this is the method type. This is the path. This is HTTP, the version. The request headers host क्या है, user agent क्या है, क्या क्या accept कर सकता है वो, accepted languages कौन सी है, English है, English US है, accepted encodings कौन सी है, character sets क्या है, की पड़ेगा तो वो सब जो ऊपर ऊपर का डेटा रहता है. और फिर ये body है. पोस्ट रिक्वेस्ट में एक बॉडी भी होती है, ठीक है, बॉडी भी होती है. और ये बॉडी जो है यूआरएल पे नहीं होती है, ठीक है. जैसे गेट में जैसे देखो यहाँ पे यूआरएल में ही आ गया ना, it is the body is represented in the URL, but here the body is not represented with the URL. Okay, so that's something. So we'll just wrap it up with new text. What are the new text? You can also create desktop and mobile apps using Electron, React Native, PWAs, progressive web apps. So you can, it's not just you are learning to create websites. You can create desktop and mobile apps through this also. That's very good. Then WebSockets are there. Like actually, what is HTTP is like one-way communication. It means one-way, not single connection. Like that is like you send the request and then the server will respond. It will not respond automatically. Okay, आप रिक्वेस्ट भेजेंगे तभी रिस्पॉन्स आएगा, वरना फिर रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आएगा. तो वेब सॉकेट्स में क्या होता है कि रिस्पॉन्स अपने आप भी आ सकता है, ठीक है. So that's something that is not new, but that's something underused, especially at the starting level. You can use it. WebAssembly is something complex. I should go in WebAssembly, I think. Okay. So WebAssembly is something cool. You will learn it maybe later and much more. So upcoming things. So this is about the syllabus. I have shared it on the mail. I have shared it on the Discord server. The Calita events also contain this. So this is the syllabus. If we'll share it with the slide. So and this is the schedule. So 1, 2, 3 will be today. That's just the theory part. And then 4, 5, 6 are the practical part where you will learn the coding. And 7, 8 are the deployment and something backend, just a little intro to backend. And you can see that you have plenty of practice days for this 4, 5, 6 module because these are practicing. And you will be having task as quiz. I will not be giving at a quiz. What you will do currently is you will go and look at HTTP specification, which I will be sharing on Discord. I will be sharing the document, and you will be looking at the headers, different type of headers which are present in HTTP, and writing 2 or 3 lines about each header. Okay, that's your assignment kind of thing. And when you will be developing your website, you will be adding this as this page as well. Okay, writing this information in that page, in a web page, this each header and its information in request and response separately, and you will be uploading that. It will be evaluated, and then you will get a score, and you will get a good score. You will get a top of leaderboard. This task is hard. It's not easy. Let me tell you. There's something which many advanced developers also suffer, like the HTTP content is something that is not well understood. So don't get discouraged at all. It's the starting phase, and you may like in your age I didn't even know about this stuff. Okay, so just be chill. If you don't get it, ask in the doubt section. We'll explain it to you, and then you can write it in there. Just keep it in a Word document for now. Then you will be translating it to a HTML page, and you will be posting it. Okay. So if you have any doubt now, Sujay Gabdi, of course, at done. So if you have any doubt now, you can ask in the chat, and Garvit can relay it to you. Anything, any silly doubt can do, right? It's not that you should know everything from now.
Cookies. What is cookies?
Cookies. It's an advanced stuff. So okay, because it's asked, I will cover it, but I'm not. So maybe like there is a server side and there's a client side. So your browser is the client side, okay, and the server is that. So whenever a request is sent from your browser, okay, you are sending a request from your browser. So the server wants to identify. Maybe it's just one use case, okay, just one use case. The server wants to identify who is sending the request. Okay, so it can store a cookie with in your browser. In your browser, it is stored not on the server, on your browser. That maybe the cookie name is username, and it is like Abhi Andhra. So next time when the request is sent, along with this, the cookie will be sent to the server, and the server will identify it. Right? It will say that okay, Abhi Andhra is sending the request. So the cookies are something that are stored in your browser. It is stored. So HTTP is what we call a stateless protocol. So that's a technical term. So stateless is what? It doesn't maintain a state. So it doesn't store some information, right? So what we do is through cookies we introduce some kind of statefulness, and we store some data on the client end. So जैसे मैं यूजर हूँ तो मेरे पास कुछ मेरे ब्राउजर में कुछ स्टोर कर देगा वो, तो जब भी मैं रिक्वेस्ट भेजूंगा तो वो जो चीज स्टोर्ड है वो भी जाएगी वो रिक्वेस्ट के साथ, और फिर सर्वर मेरे को पहचान सकता है कि हाँ भाई ये है और ये काम करना था, तो सर्वर रख सकता है। अब सर्वर अपने पास पूरा स्टोर करके रख भी लिया तो उसको आइडेंटिफाई तो करना रिक्वेस्ट को, तो वो सब चीजें आइडेंटिफाई करना, ऑथराइजेशन, ऑथेंटिकेशन, ये सब चीजें कुकीज से कभी कभी होती है। तो कुकीज उसके लिए यूज होती है, कोई भी चीज अगर हमको क्लाइंट साइड में स्टोर करना, और उसके लिए हाई लेवल एपीआई भी है, लोकल स्टोरेज भी है, आगे पढ़ोगे इंडेक्स डी भी है जो कभी किसी ने यूज नहीं किया, पता नहीं क्यों। तो काफी एक्साइटिंग, मतलब इतनी सारी चीजें तुम लोग को पढ़ने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी की तुम कभी थकोगे नहीं, मतलब हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ डिस्कवर करने के लिए रहेगा तुम्हारे पास। ऐसा नहीं बोलो कि मैंने पढ़ लिया पूरा, हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ सीखने के लिए, और हमेशा मजा आता है क्योंकि तुम खुद कुछ बनाने वाले हो। और सबसे आसान तरीका मैं बता दूं कि अगर तुम्हें कुछ अपने आप को ट्रांसलेट करना है, कोई आइडिया है तुम्हारे पास, कुछ बनाना है तुमको, तो तुम वेब से काफी अच्छे से बना सकते। और कुछ गर्वित?
और अभी तक टास्क नहीं दिया थी तो मतलब टास्क का मत पूछो, अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं दिया तुमको, अब देंगे।
टास्क
डिफरेंस बिटवीन
मैंने एक बोल दिया, एक जस्ट टास्क के लिए कैसा कि टास्क जो है वो तुम्हारा है कि तुम जाओगे, मैं एक डॉक्यूमेंट दूंगा या फिर तुम खुद जाओगे, हेडर्स पढ़ोगे एचटीटीपी क्या क्या हेडर्स रहते हैं और क्या क्या नहीं रहते, तुमको उससे वेब के अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी, ठीक है। और तुमको कोई भी डाउट आता है उसमें तो तुम डिस्कॉर्ड में पूछ सकते हो, ठीक है। और तुमको मेंटेन करके रखना है अभी, उसको ऐसा कुछ पोस्ट नहीं करना है कहीं पे, गिट पे पुश नहीं करना है, हम मर्ज करने नहीं वाले उसको। तुमको क्या करना है, तुमको उसको अपने पास एक वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में मेंटेन रखना है, और जब तुम वेबसाइट बनाओगे ना तब तुम उसके साथ इसका भी एक पेज बना दोगे वेबसाइट का, और तुम उसको डाल दोगे, तो मैं उसको देख लूंगा कैसे किया, उसके ऊपर तुमको तुम्हारा लीडर बोर्ड अपडेट हो जाएगा, ठीक है। तो वो टास्क अभी आएंगे जब HTML CSS जावास्क्रिप्ट आएगा, तब तुम खुद वेबसाइट बनाओगे अच्छी से अपनी सुंदर से, तब तुम वो करोगे उसके साथ, ठीक है। आगे
डिफरेंस बिटवीन वेब एंड इंटरनेट अभी कवर कर लिया था ना।
अरे वेब मतलब समझो सॉफ्टवेयर है जो उसके ऊपर रन करता है, दैट रन्स ऑन द इंटरनेट। इंटरनेट जस्ट इज द कनेक्शन ऑफ कंप्यूटर। मैंने अपने लैपटॉप को एक दूसरे कंप्यूटर से वायर से कनेक्ट कर दिया, वो इंटरनेट तो नहीं, मतलब नेटवर्क हो गया वो एक तरह का। इंटरनेट भी एक टाइप का नेटवर्क है। तो मैंने अपना कंप्यूटर लिया, उसको दूसरे कंप्यूटर से एक वायर से कनेक्ट कर दिया, वो हो गया नेटवर्क। लेकिन अब उसके ऊपर मतलब बस वो खत्म नहीं होता ना, वो वेब नहीं होता है। उसके ऊपर जो हम फाइल सेंड करते हैं HTML CSS जावास्क्रिप्ट, ये सब चीजों का जो ट्रांसफर का प्रोटोकॉल डिफाइंड है, ये सब को वेब बोलते हैं। ठीक है, दैट्स द वेब कनेक्शन, इंटरकनेक्शन पेजेस। ठीक है।
डिफरेंस बिटवीन वेब एंड वेबसाइट।
ऐसा कोई डिफरेंस नहीं। वेब मतलब वेब इज लेस इंटरकनेक्टेडनेस ऑफ वेबसाइट कह सकते हैं। ऐसा कोई फॉर्मल डेफिनेशन नहीं, कोई मैथमेटिक्स का कोर्स नहीं है कि फॉर्मली डिफाइंड होगा। तो वेबसाइट्स मतलब फ्रंट पेज ऑफ वेब कह सकते हो, जो दिखता है, और पूरा जो आर्किटेक्चर है वेबसाइट को मेंटेन करने का, वेबसाइट को एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट कैसे करना है, वेबसाइट ट्रांसफर कैसे होगी, वेबसाइट लोड कैसे होगी, वेबसाइट दिखेगी कैसे, पार्स कैसे करना है, लैंग्वेज स्पेसिफिकेशंस क्या है, ये सब पूरी चीजों को मिला के वेब कहते हैं। मतलब बस वेब क्या होता है, एक मकड़ी का जाला समझ, एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड। तो वैसे ही पेजेस एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड है, ये कनेक्ट वो कनेक्ट, या गूगल से तुम कहाँ कहाँ चल जाते हो, तो वैसे ही वेब। The most means the most intuitive example is Wikipedia page. You can go from one page to thousands of pages from one page, just clicking on stuff, this link, this link, this link, this link, and that's how that is web, connected, and that's just a website, the Wikipedia, and
और
that's mechanism. बोल।
और अभी आज के लिए 2 मॉड्यूल और है, तो अभी रैप करते हैं ये वाला
हाँ
मॉड्यूल, तो
ये वाला
दूसरा
मॉड्यूल मैं
मॉड्यूल
आपका,
स्टार्ट करते हैं।
क्योंकि इसमें 40 मिनट हो चुके हैं जबकि 30 मिनट का ही था। ठीक है। अगला मॉड्यूल मैं सार्थक को इनवाइट करूंगा। सार्थक, मैं स्क्रीन शेयर करना
हेलो।
बंद कर। और कोई जयदेव आ चुके हैं? जयदेव
हाँ सर, आ गया।
आ गया? ठीक है।
हाँ सर, वो आ गया।
होप करता है ये इंजॉयबल रहा। ओके, मैं साइन ऑफ कर रहा हूँ इधर। ओवर टू यू सार्थक।
दिख रही स्लाइड्स? लो।
हाँ
हाँ दिख रही, दिख रही।
हाँ तो ठीक है। मेरा नाम सार्थक महेश्वरी है
हाँ
एंड माय टॉपिक इज इंट्रोडक्शन टू वेब डेवलपमेंट। तो अभी तक तो अपन ने बात करी कि वेब क्या होता है, कैसे काम करती है चीज़ें, डेटा कैसे शेयर होता है। तो अब मतलब आगे बढ़ते हैं कि वेब डेवलपमेंट असल में होता क्या है और क्या प्रोसेस रहता है कि कोई आपके पास आइडिया है उसको आप वेबसाइट में कन्वर्ट करते हो। तो मतलब सिंपल सी डेफिनेशन है। डेफिनेशन भी क्या मतलब, वेब डेवलपमेंट इज क्रिएटिंग एंड मेंटेनिंग वेबसाइट्स, दैट्स इट। So if you're expecting some complex definition, that's the only thing. So I'll move on. What are the parts of a website, right? तो एक हर कोई वेबसाइट को 2 पार्ट्स में बांट सकते हो आप, फ्रंट एंड एंड बैक एंड। तो फ्रंट एंड इज एवरीथिंग दैट यू सी ऑन द वेब। तो कोई भी अपना यूजर है, जो भी आप कोई वेबसाइट खोलोगे अपने ब्राउजर पे, और जो भी आपको कुछ दिख रहा है, जो भी आप कुछ इंटरैक्ट कर सकते हो उससे, वो सारा फ्रंट एंड में आएगा। जैसे आपने कोई भी ऐप खोला, उसमें जो आपको बटन्स दिख रहे हैं, जो बैकग्राउंड है, कोई फॉर्म्स हैं उसमें, जिनसे भी आप सबसे इंटरैक्ट कर रहे हो, वो पूरा एक वेबसाइट का फ्रंट एंड होगा। और बैक एंड है जो बिहाइंड द सीन सारा काम करता है। जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल तुमने फेसबुक खोला, तो अब तुम्हें फेसबुक पे तुम्हें लोगों की पोस्ट दिख रही है, स्टोरीज दिख रहे हैं, फ्रेंड लिस्ट वगैरह दिख रही है। तो जो वो सारा डेटा है, वो सारा बैकएंड से आता है। अब तुम किसी को मैसेज सेंड कर रहे हो, वो डेटा जाके किसी डेटाबेस में स्टोर होगा, वो सारा काम बैकएंड हैंडल करता है। और डेटा डिस्प्ले करने का काम और तुम्हारे इंटरैक्शन कंट्रोल करने का काम वो सारा फ्रंट एंड करता है। ठीक है। तो अब जैसे कि एक ही चार्ट से बता देता हूँ मैं कि अपना कोई यूजर है, उसका सारा इंटरैक्शन लिमिटेड रहता है फ्रंट एंड से। ठीक है। और फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड से डेटा रिक्वेस्ट करता है और अकॉर्डिंगली उसको
सार्थक,
कुछ हाँ सॉरी।
थोड़ा इंग्लिश में, थोड़ा इंग्लिश।
Oh, okay. So there's a user. All his interaction would be limited with the front end only. Okay. So the front end would control what the user sees. So his according to his actions, the data would be requested from the back end, and the backend would send back the data. Okay, so then the data is displayed to the user. So whatever the user is doing is limited to the front end only. The back end is just working behind the scenes to handle the data that is being displayed to the user. Okay, और ये सारा यूजर अपने ब्राउजर से करेगा, उसका बैक एंड में कुछ वो नहीं है। मतलब ये इमेज एक्सप्लेन कर सकती है काफी ढंग से कि फ्रंट एंड और बैक एंड क्या है। फ्रंट एंड वही जो यूजर को दिख रहा है, और बैक एंड जो बिहाइंड द सीन्स वो चीज बनाने के लिए काम में आ रहा है। So whatever the user sees as front end, and whatever it takes to display that data, that information to the user, that is all handled in the backend. तो अब फ्रंट एंड में थोड़ा डीप डाइव कर लेते हैं। फ्रंट एंड इज बेसिकली composed of these three technologies: HTML, CS and JavaScript. So इनका अपना अपना यूज है, and these three technologies are the basic parts of every website, and these are the only technologies that a browser understands. So you cannot bring in any fifth language and say give it to the browser and expect it to understand that language. These are the only three languages that a browser understands. So in the end, every web page is compiled into these three languages only. So what is the use of each language? HTML का काम है कंटेंट एंड स्ट्रक्चर डिफाइन करना किसी भी वेबसाइट का। सो अपन कोई वेब पेज देखते हैं, उसमें अपने को कहीं कुछ इमेज है, कहीं कुछ टेबल्स हैं, कहीं कुछ टेक्स्ट है, और वो सारे मतलब कहाँ कहाँ पोजिशन्ड होंगे, कौन सा किसके बाद आएगा, ये जो पूरा स्ट्रक्चर है वेबसाइट का, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, स्केलेटन टाइप, वो अपन HTML से डिफाइन करते हैं, ठीक है। और CSS का काम होता है प्रेजेंटेशन, मतलब आपका वेब पेज कैसा दिखेगा। HTML से बनाया हुआ तो केवल स्केलेटन होता है, और अगर केवल आप HTML से बना हुआ पेज देखोगे तो बहुत ही गंदा दिखता है वो। उसमें फिर अपन CSS से स्टाइलिंग ऐड करते हैं कि मतलब आपने जो इमेज बनाई उसकी साइज कितनी होगी, वो कैसे पोजिशन माने अलाइनमेंट क्या होगा उसका, और जो टेक्स्ट लिखा उसका फॉन्ट क्या होगा, फॉन्ट साइज क्या होगा, फॉन्ट फैमिली कौन सी होगी, ये सारा CSS से होगा। आपका बैकग्राउंड कैसा होगा, ये सारा CSS कंट्रोल करता है। सो आपकी वेबसाइट जैसा भी दिखेगी वो सारा CSS के उससे होगा। और थर्ड लैंग्वेज अपनी जावास्क्रिप्ट, ये पूरा लॉजिक एंड बिहेवियर हैंडल करती है वेबसाइट का। मतलब आपने कोई भी वेबसाइट खोली और उसमें जो भी इंटरेक्शंस आप करोगे, लाइक all the interactions you do on a website, like clicking of a button or searching something, all of this is handled by JavaScript. So without JavaScript it would just be a static website. You could only view the contents and not interact with it in any way. So you would be clicking on a button but there would be no effect if it wasn't for JavaScript. तो अगर मैं ह्यूमन बॉडी से कंपेयर करूँ एक वेबसाइट को, so our skeleton would be defined by the HTML, and all our organs and our muscles and our nerves, basically everything that makes a body work, that would be JavaScript. And our looks, like बाल कैसे हैं, शक्ल कैसी है, ये सारा स्किन कैसा है आपका, ये सारा सब CSS के थ्रू डिफाइंड होगा, ठीक है। अभी तक समझ आ रहा है सब कुछ, होपफुली। किसी को डाउट है क्या?
ना चले।
एक्सप्लेन JS अगेन बोल रहा है कोई।
लास्ट में देखते हैं उसको।
चलो ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। हाँ तो
इंग्लिश इंग्लिश में
ओहो
बोल-
so now we're talking about the components of the backend. So I hope the front end part was more or less clear. I'll take the doubts in the end if there are any. So backend is basically divided into two parts, and server and a database. Server is basically any computer that listens to the requests made to your app. So in the previous module we talked about like how on the web requests are sent to a server and the server sends you some data according to that request, which is then displayed into a web page, right? So this is the server. So the server can be your own computer, or it could be a cloud hosted service, in case of the websites that are deployed online, the thousands of websites. So, that is the only job of server. It listens to the requests that are made to your website's URL, and it responds accordingly with the appropriate data. And that data comes from a database, obviously, जहाँ पे अपने वेबसाइट का सारा कुछ डेटा वगैरह स्टोर रहेगा. अब मोबाइल लेते हैं. तो मैं एक एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ. जैसे तुम्हारी कोई पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट है, तुमने किसी ने यू मेक अ पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट एंड some recruiter say he visits the website. So कुछ www.xyz.com website है. So the server would be waiting in case someone makes a request to that website. And तुम्हारा जो भी HTML, CSS, JavaScript होगा तुम्हारे होम पेज से related, that server would ask the database for that information, and that information would be sent to the user's machine. The user who tried to access your website, right? Now, those server side languages. So अपन ने फ्रंट एंड में देखा कि 3 ही लैंग्वेज है, HTML, CSS और JavaScript, and they have their roles defined. Front end has those 3 fixed languages because it is browser dependent. Browser only understands those 3 languages. But server के केस में क्या है? Server is not running on any browser. Server is running on a computer, on a machine, and that makes it much more flexible. Like since it's independent from the browser. तो अब यहाँ देख लो कि सर्वर में instead of specific technologies, you have multiple languages that you can use to create a server. So like this is JavaScript, this is Ruby, this is Java, PHP, and Python. So you can use any of these languages to create a server, and it may be different. The methods would be different, of course, but the result would be same at the end. They all have some drawbacks and some pros, of course, but they'd work in the end. So here the second part, databases. Again, the same story. You have many databases to choose from, and you can choose any one of them according to your choices, according to your needs. So like some of them you see like PostgreSQL, MySQL, they're based on SQL, that is sequential query languages. That is their relational database. The data in them is stored in tables. Whereas MongoDB and Redis, they're non-relational. That is, the data is stored in documents. So इनके भी अपने अपने एडवांटेजेस है, अपने अपने डिसएडवांटेजेस है. तो तुम्हें अभी ये देख के वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि भाई कितना सारा ये है वो है. इनमें से तुम एक या दो से ज्यादा यूज नहीं करोगे मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, और कभी पढ़ा भी तो भी अगर तुमको एक या दो ढंग से आता है तो तुम काफी आसानी से अगले पे मूव कर सकते. ठीक है, वो एक बार ये थोड़ा और डिटेल्ड में, पहले तो अपन ने ऊपर से डिस्कस करा था कि भाई क्लाइंट एक रिक्वेस्ट भेजता है
English.
उसको फिर अरे सॉरी. So in the beginning we discussed that user sends a request to the user interacts with the front end, and the front end sends a request to the back end for the data, and the back end returns the data back to the front end, which the user can see. So now this is the same thing but slightly more detailed because we learned about the backend server side. So here's the browser client side. It's the same thing. It sends a request to the web server, and the web server is like I discussed, it listens to the request any client machine sends to your website, right? So it would ask our application to it would give the request data to our application, and our application would accordingly decide what data it needs to fetch from the database. So whatever data we'd fetch, it would be put into some HTML templates. HTML templates are predefined templates. Like just if it's I'll take the example of Facebook. So if you like think about it, Facebook's website design is same, right? The top is stories, the right is your friend list, and in the middle part there are all the posts. Just the data varies, right? So we have a fixed template in which only the data changes, which is this data which is fetched from the database. And this data is plugged into the templates and returned to the web server, which in turn returns it as a response to our browser, and the user can see it. And the data returned to the browser, of course, is in HTML, CSS, JavaScript only, because like we discussed, these are the only languages that a browser understands. So मैं एक सेकंड मैं एक छोटा सा डेमो दे देता हूँ. एक बार मैं स्टॉप करता हूँ प्रेजेंट करना. जिसमें कि मतलब HTML, CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट यूज करके बनाया है. तो एक बार ये देख लो, मतलब फंक्शनिंग कैलकुलेटर है, कुछ भी आप ऑपरेशन कर सकते हो इसमें. सो अभी मैं मतलब इसका ये काम तुम्हें कोड दिखाने का नहीं है, इसका बस ये है कि कोड कर क्या रहा है. तो ये इस पेज का HTML है, ये CSS है और ये जावास्क्रिप्ट है. तो अब मैं तुम्हें ये बताना रह गया कि HTML के बिना कोई भी वेब पेज नहीं बन सकता. मतलब अगर मैं इस पेज का HTML कमेंट आउट कर दूं ना, तो ये देखना प्रोसेस हो जाने दो एक बार. ब्लैंक पेज, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं आ सकता HTML के बिना. तो CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट के बिना भले ही कुछ भी, मतलब भले ही अच्छा ना दिखे आपका पेज, बट कुछ तो होगा. बट HTML इज द स्केलेटन ऑफ अ वेब पेज. बिना इसके कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा. तो एक बार वापस इसका प्रीव्यू खत्म हो तो बैक टू नॉर्मल. सो अभी मैं एक बार CSS हटा के दिखाता हूँ कि ये कैसा दिखेगा. अभी एक बार देख लो, मैं इस पर हावर कर रहा हूँ तो ये इफेक्ट दिख रहा होगा तुम्हें, शैडो वाला. मैं क्लिक कर रहा हूँ तो ये बोल्ड हो जा रहा है थोड़ा, है ना. और अभी मैं एक बार इसका CSS कमेंट आउट करता हूँ, फिर देखना है कैसा दिखता है. CSS कमेंट आउट करने पे बस ये है, ये जो पूरा दिख रहा है ना, बस इतना ही डिफाइंड है HTML से. HTML में केवल इतना दिख रहा है. और अभी तुम देखो ना, मैं 7 पे क्लिक कर रहा हूँ तो 7 आ रहा है, 78 प्लस 45 इक्वल्स 123. तो मतलब फंक्शनिंग अभी भी है. कहने का मतलब ये है कि CSS हटाने से केवल ये जो स्टाइल्स थी ना, जिससे मतलब देखने लायक लग रहा था, वो हट जाता है. क्योंकि अभी जावास्क्रिप्ट और HTML दोनों हैं, इसलिए इसका बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर अभी भी इंटैक्ट है और फंक्शनैलिटी अभी भी इंटैक्ट है. ठीक है ना. तो तुम देख सकते हो चाहे तो कि अभी भी काम कर रहा है जैसा पहले कर रहा था, बस दिखने में काफी भद्दा है. और मतलब अगर ऐसा वेब पेज किसी को दिखाओगे तो वो दूसरी बार तो नहीं विजिट करेगा. तो CSS वापस डाल देते हैं. ये बैक टू नॉर्मल. फिर से फंक्शनिंग, स्टाइल्स भी वैसा है. अब मैं जावास्क्रिप्ट कमेंट आउट करूंगा. तो प्रीव्यू फिनिश्ड. ये क्या हुआ? हाँ, प्रीव्यू फिनिश्ड. अब तुम देख लो चाहे तो, दिखने में बिल्कुल सेम है, कोई अंतर नहीं है. बट अब मैं जब बटन प्रेस कर रहा हूँ तो कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है. ये हावर इफेक्ट आ रहा है, ये सारा जो है ये CSS के थ्रू है. बट बाकी ये जो ऑपरेशन होते हैं, यहाँ पे आपके नंबर दिखते हैं, आप मल्टीप्लाई ऐड कर पाते हो उनको, उनका रिजल्ट आता, वो सारा कुछ गायब है. तो मतलब कहने की बात ये है कि ये सारा हैंडल हो रहा था जावास्क्रिप्ट के थ्रू. मतलब जो भी तुम्हारे ऐप का लॉजिक होगा वेबसाइट का, all that would be handled by JavaScript. So without JavaScript, your app is just a view only. You can say that. You can only see the app, not do much with it. Like the interactions are almost zero. So now I'll bring back the JavaScript. And the preview finishes, and you can see it's once again back to normal, perfectly working. So that is all. I'll move on to the next slides. One second. तो आई होप अब इसके बाद तो तुम्हें समझ आ ही गया होगा कि क्या काम है HTML का, क्या काम है जावास्क्रिप्ट का और क्या काम है CSS का. ठीक है. तो अब आगे बढ़ते हैं फ्रेमवर्क्स. ठीक है. तो अभी तक तो बात करी अपन ने कि भाई हाउ वी यूज फ्रंट एंड, मतलब व्हाट इज फ्रंट एंड, व्हाट इज बैक एंड, एंड how do we go on creating them? Like front end is made up of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and back end we have a server and a database. And a server can be made with many languages,
We'll be
and there
starting
are
now.
also many choices
10
for a
minutes before.
database. So now we'll talk about frameworks. Frameworks are a bunch of code that are written by someone else. Like till now you must be thinking that all the code that you will do, all the code needed to make a website would be done by you only. But that is not true. There are many frameworks that make your life easier. Uh, so there are many features in a website, like if you think about it. So authentication, yeah, emails, there are many features that are common in a website. So for all of these features, there are many frameworks that make your life easier, so that you do not have to write same code again and again and again. So someone has already written that code. That code is available online, or it's open source most of the time. So you can add that to your project and you can work with it rather than starting from scratch and reinventing the wheel. Okay. So frameworks let you implement a functionality without having to know the complete process behind it. So you may not know what goes into sending an email. Like you may not know the complete process, but using a framework, you know how to do it, but you do not know the complete process behind it. So it provides some abstraction and prevents you from wasting unnecessary time on things that are redundant, that you have to do again and again and again in multiple websites. So I'll give you some examples of frameworks. I'll not explain what they are. I'll just for a reference point. So for CSS, it's more a library than a framework, but let's go with it. It's called Bootstrap, and rather than writing CSS code, which is once you start writing, you'll notice it's very tiring. So Bootstrap makes it very easier. All you have to do is add 3 or 4 lines, and it does the task of what you will do in writing after writing 10 or 20 lines of CSS. So it's very helpful. And similarly for JavaScript, this is a framework named Angular. It's developed by Google. Some of you may have heard of its name. It's quite popular nowadays, and it makes stuff like those interactions which we talked about, accomplishing them on a large website. It gets tough, and it makes it very easier as compared to just JavaScript. Similarly, in the backend, there are frameworks like for Python, there's a framework named Django, which makes the backend development very easy. Like it provides you functionality like email sending features and authentication out of the box. So all you have to do is just create an app with Django and just make some tweaks, and you already have a app that's ready to run. Similarly, with Rails, it's a backend framework for Ruby. It also does the same thing. While in case of Express, it's slightly different. You have to import some extra packages. So Express is a minimalistic kind of a framework where it does not provide everything right out of the box, but you have to make some tweaks, some additions to it. Right. So this is a common issue. Like we see कि frameworks बहुत ही सही हैं, अपना काम कितनी आसानी से हो जा रहा है, ऐसा ऐसा करके काफी अच्छा लगने लग जाता है. तो आपका कोई छोटा सा भी काम है, like you have to make a small website that does not even require that much of code. In that website also you start preferring using a framework instead of writing the code by yourself. So that is not a very good practice. So like the meme says, it's exaggerated of course, but it happens many a times that you include lots and lots of framework and your website size keeps increasing. So the speed of loading also decreases with that, and that is not a good indicator. So it is recommended that you jump into frameworks only after you have like a good grasp of the basics. Like any good developer would recommend you to learn CSS before you jump into using Bootstrap. You do not need to be a master, but you at least need to have a good grasp on the how things go about in CSS. Similarly, for JavaScript, there are a lot of frameworks which can make your life easier, but it is always better to have a firm grasp on the technology than go on to the frameworks, right? And that's it from my side. If you have any doubts, you can ask them.
जावा फ्रेमवर्क एक और बार एक्सप्लेन कर दे।
एक सेकंड। हाँ, तो क्या हिंदी में बताऊं? हिंदी में बताऊं?
हाँ
ठीक है।
हाँ
तो अभी तक तो देख, इससे पहले बात कर रहे थे कि फ्रंट एंड में अपन HTML CSS जावास्क्रिप्ट से करते हैं काम, और बैक एंड में उसकी अलग लैंग्वेजेस है। तो कोई भी अगर आप वेबसाइट, कोई अच्छे लेवल की वेबसाइट बनाना चालू करोगे, जैसे फिर से एक और बार फेसबुक का एग्जांपल ले लेता हूँ, आखिरी बार ले रहा हूँ, सॉरी, है ना। तो अब फेसबुक जैसी बहुत बड़ी वेबसाइट है, उसमें हजारों फीचर्स हैं, छोटे मोटे, तुम्हारी सेटिंग्स, तुम्हारे चैट्स, ये वो। तो वो हर चीज स्टार्ट से इम्प्लीमेंट करना और वो सारे चेंजेस मतलब ट्रैक करना, वो काफी बड़ा टास्क है। तो ऐसे चीजों के लिए अपने फ्रेमवर्क्स हैं। फ्रेमवर्क्स क्या करते हैं कि कुछ जो कोड अपन बार बार यूज करते रहते हैं ना, वो कोड ऑलरेडी रिटन रहता है ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर के तौर पे, और तुम उसको अपने प्रोजेक्ट में इंपोर्ट कर सकते हो। अब वो इंपोर्ट कैसे होता है, ये सब आगे बात करेंगे, मतलब इस मॉड्यूल में नहीं है, आगे वाले सेक्शंस में आएगा। बट अभी के लिए बस ये जान लो कि वो कोड तुम अपने प्रोजेक्ट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हो, और थोड़ा बहुत चेंज करके उसको रन कर सकते हो आराम से, ठीक है। तो अब तुम्हें जैसे कोई ऑथेंटिकेशन है, जैसे तुम्हें लॉग इन लॉग आउट इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, अब वो पता नहीं लाखों करोड़ों वेबसाइट्स में होगा सेम फीचर। तो वो रादर देन हर आदमी वो स्टार्टिंग से इम्प्लीमेंट करे, एक किसी भले आदमी ने उसका एक फ्रेमवर्क बना दिया, यानी उसका कोड लिख के ऑलरेडी तैयार है। तुम्हें करना बस ये है कि उसको डाउनलोड कर लेना है। डाउनलोड करने का तरीका मैंने बोल ही दिया, बाद में बताएंगे। और उसको अपने प्रोजेक्ट में इंक्लूड करके उसको यूज करना स्टार्ट कर देना है, थोड़े से चेंजेस के साथ, जो कि तुम्हारे प्रोजेक्ट स्पेसिफिक हो, ठीक है। आ गया समझ या कुछ? Frameworks are something like templates of code or what? हाँ, टेम्पलेट मान सकते हो, हालांकि टेम्पलेट तो मतलब एक फिक्स चीज हो गई, बट फ्रेमवर्क्स आर समथिंग कि तुम अपने प्रोजेक्ट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हो और अपने प्रोजेक्ट के हिसाब से चेंज कर सकते हो। उनमें थोड़ा बहुत डेटा अपने प्रोजेक्ट के हिसाब से दोगे आप, और फिर आप वो फ्रेमवर्क को अपने प्रोजेक्ट में यूज कर सकते हो। इतनी डेप्थ में अभी समझना नहीं है, बस थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया लग गया फ्रेमवर्क क्या है तो बहुत है अभी के लिए, ठीक है। प्लीज एक्सप्लेन स्लाइड जस्ट बिफोर फ्रेमवर्क्स, ओके। ये वाली स्लाइड, ठीक है। तो अपन क्लाइंट साइड, मैंने बताया फ्रंट एंड होता है, ब्राउजर पे जो भी अपन देखते हैं वो सारा फ्रंट एंड होता है। यूजर जो भी इंटरेक्शन करेगा फ्रंट एंड से, उसके बेसिस पर एक गेट रिक्वेस्ट जाती है। जैसे फिर अ, तुम्हारी कोई भी वेबसाइट है, तुमने कोई बटन क्लिक करा, कोई फॉर्म सबमिट करा मान लो, तो उससे कोई एक रिक्वेस्ट सेंड करेगा ब्राउजर, जो कि सर्वर वो आइडेंटिफाई करेगा और अपने ऐप को बताएगा कि भाई ये रिक्वेस्ट आई है, इसके साथ ये डेटा आया है, या ये हेडर्स आए हैं। हेडर्स जैसा कि सबने पहले बताया था, तो वो रिक्वेस्ट के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन होती है। तो वो वेब ऐप को पता चलेगा अपने, और वो उसके अकॉर्डिंग अपने डेटाबेस से या तो कुछ डेटा फैच करेगा या उसमें कुछ डेटा स्टोर करेगा। जैसे तुमने अगर मान लो लॉग साइन अप करा है किसी वेबसाइट में, तो वेब ऐप को तुम्हारे यूजर नेम पासवर्ड सेंड होंगे और वो डेटाबेस में स्टोर करेगा। या फिर अगर तुम लॉग इन कर रहे हो, तो वेब ऐप डेटाबेस से तुम्हारे क्रेडेंशियल्स निकालेगा और फिर उसको कंपेयर करेगा, ठीक है। तो वो डिपेंड करेगा कि तुम्हारा एक्शन क्या है। तो इस हिसाब से जो डेटा आएगा, वो HTML टेम्पलेट्स मैंने डिटेल में बता ही दिया था शायद, आई होप इसमें डाउट नहीं है किसी को कि टेम्पलेट्स क्या होते हैं। वो जो डेटा डेटाबेस से आएगा, वो टेम्पलेट्स में डाल के HTML के तौर पे वेब सर्वर पे डालेंगे। और ये जो स्टैटिक रिसोर्सेज हैं, ये बेसिकली वो हैं जो अपनी फाइल्स चेंज नहीं होती। जैसे CSS है, स्टाइलिंग है वो पेज की, वो चेंज नहीं होगा, वो वही रहेगा। हर पेज के लिए अलग हो सकता है, बट वो कभी चेंज नहीं होगा। हर पेज मतलब जैसे तुम्हारा कुछ वेबसाइट स्लैश होम स्लैश पोस्ट ऐसा कुछ राउट्स रहते हैं अलग अलग, तो उनके लिए डिज़ाइन अलग अलग हो सकती है, बट वो स्टैटिक ही रहेगी एंड हर पेज की अपनी। ऐसे ही जावास्क्रिप्ट हो गया, इमेजेस हो गई, ये सारी फाइल्स चेंज नहीं होती, तो स्टैटिक रिसोर्सेज भी वेब सर्वर के पास जाएंगी और ये ब्राउजर के पास सेंड कर देगा जो इसको डेटा चाहिए उस हिसाब से। तो इन दी एंड HTML CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट के फॉर्म में जाएगा डेटा ब्राउजर के पास, जो कि ब्राउजर समझ सकता है और ब्राउजर को डिस्प्ले कर देगा। ठीक है, और कुछ है क्या? घर में देखा गया था कुछ? प्लीज एक्सप्लेन HTML टेम्पलेट्स इन शॉर्ट अगेन। ओहो, हाँ, तो फिर से फेसबुक का एग्जांपल लेना पड़ेगा मेरे को, सॉरी। फेसबुक का ही पहले भी लिया था, सेम चीज़ वापस बोल रहा हूँ कि अब तुम फेसबुक खोल के देखोगे तो उसका एक लेआउट देखोगे तो वो फिक्स्ड है कि तुम्हारा जो मेन स्क्रीन होगा उस पर तुम्हारे पोस्ट रहेंगे, एक के बाद एक स्क्रॉल करते जाओगे, पोस्ट आते जाएंगे नए नए। तुम्हारे राइट हैंड साइड पे, मैं डेस्कटॉप साइड की बात कर रहा हूँ ना, फोन साइड से कंफ्यूज मत होना प्लीज। राइट हैंड साइड पे फ्रेंड लिस्ट रहती है और तुम्हारे टॉप पे स्टोरीज वगैरह वाला रहता है शायद। तो उसमें तुम लेआउट देखोगे तो वो तो सेम ही है, ऊपर स्टोरीज रहे तो स्टोरीज ही रहेंगी, सेंटर में पोस्ट है तो पोस्ट ही रहेंगे, राइट में फ्रेंड लिस्ट है तो फ्रेंड लिस्ट ही रहेगी। पर उसमें जो डेटा है वो चेंज हो रहा है। जैसे तुम्हारे फेसबुक पे जो फ्रेंड्स हैं वो अलग रहेंगे, मेरे पे अलग रहेंगे, जो ऑनलाइन है वो अलग रहेंगे, जो ऑफलाइन है वो अलग रहेंगे। तो वो सारा डेटा सेंड होगा डेटाबेस से, पर जो फॉर्मेट है वो स्टैटिक रहेगा। तो मेरा पोस्ट का स्ट्रक्चर, मेरा फ्रेंड लिस्ट का स्ट्रक्चर, मेरा स्टोरीज का स्ट्रक्चर, वो सारा मैं एक HTML टेम्पलेट के फॉर्म में स्टोर कर सकता हूँ, जिसमें फिर मेरे को बाद में बस करना ये होगा कि मैं सर्वर से डेटा उठाऊंगा, उसमें प्लग इन करूंगा और उसको ब्राउजर में सेंड कर दूंगा, फिर ब्राउजर वो डिस्प्ले कर देगा डेटा सहित। ठीक है, यही होता है बस HTML टेम्पलेट। गॉट इट, नाइस। एनीथिंग एल्स? If we remove our sign up from Google, do web apps still store our sign up data? ये तो काफी आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट हो गया यार। ठीक
अरे
है,
तो
हाँ।
मतलब साइन आउट नहीं बोला उसने, रिमूव आर साइन अप बोल दिया, मतलब रिमूव आर
मतलब
अकाउंट फ्रॉम
लॉग आउट का मतलब क्या? लॉग आउट कह रहा है, क्या कह रहा
नहीं जो भी है, अगर लॉग आउट किया तो डाटा तो रहेगा उसके पास, अगर तुमने अकाउंट रिमूव कर दिया तो आइडियली उसका डाटा नहीं होना चाहिए उनके पास, लेकिन अगर है तो फिर पता नहीं, वो उनकी मर्जी है रखना ना रखना। ऐसा कोई स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है, मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि तो वो निकाल ही देंगे, अगर उन चाहे तो रख सकते हो, अगर एग्रीमेंट एग्रीमेंट देखना होता है फिर तो उनके ऊपर है वो, ऐसा कुछ
फेसबुक तो
नहीं है।
बेचता भी है।
है? हाँ।
हाँ तो वेब
अरे
डेवलपमेंट
हाँ,
के इस पे नहीं।
नेक्स्ट स्टार्ट करते हैं,
अब
नेक्स्ट।
जयदेव, हाँ, जयदेव जल्दी से डेमो दे।
Hello. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm Jadev. So everything which has been explained, front end, back end, database till now, I'm gonna like explain it like using a live site in real time. Okay, so you people can understand. Let me share. So everyone can see my screen.
यस यस।
Garvit. Okay. So I'll be using this example. This is a simple diary app. We can like enter entries for our days, and simple like it's just a diary, okay, just online, and there's sign in and sign up. Uh, so let's start from the beginning, okay. I've just opened Google. I'm a user. I've just opened Google. Now what is happening? There's the front end and there's the back end, okay. There are servers which are running 24 hours, okay. My front end is running and my back end is running, and they're waiting, like listening, like waiting for a request, okay. Whenever I make a request, they will respond. So let's make a request, okay. I'm making a HTTP request to get the front end, okay. This is just like whatever you do, like when you go to Facebook, okay, you are actually requesting, you are making a HTTP request to get the front end, okay. So I just made the request and the server responded with this, okay, with this site, with this front end. The server just gave me HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to render this, okay, and you can now see it. Now, till now, the backend hasn't done anything, okay. We have just requested the front end, and it has responded with this. We can see a form, buttons, and this brand logo. And let's sign in. I've already signed up with a user. Let's sign in. Okay. This you can see, this is the developer tools. I've just opened it. Like for your convenience, you can open it with Control plus Shift plus I. Okay. It is advanced up, so I do not recommend you going to it. I'm just showing that what is happening. Okay. Where we are making the request, how are we getting the data? Let's log out again. Let's sign in. Now let's see what happens when we sign in. This happens with every site, okay? We can see we have made a request to our backend. Oh, I think, okay. So maybe I had given the wrong password, so it told me. Anyway, this we can see we just sent a HTTP request to our backend. This is my backend, okay? And this actually does whatever I have sent the data, whatever I have sent in my email and password, it is checking if there is a user like that and sending me with the data. Let's see what it has. Like this is the request, like this is the endpoint in which we made the request, and we have got 200. Okay, this is status code. You don't have to like go much into it. Okay, it's just saying that everything's okay. 200 means everything's okay, and there are more status codes. You don't have to go much into it. You can like take it slow. Let's just see the payload. I've just sent my email and my password for this, and what I got, I sent the request with the payload, and I got the response here. I got this. I got my email, name, and my password. And this can be seen like the front end can now access these, my name and email. When I go to like it can access my name. Okay, so it's showing from there. Now it's a diary app, so I'm making an entry. Let's talk about today and whatever happened. And so I just made a new entry, and you can see I made another request. Whatever you do, like in Facebook, like whenever you enter and like you want to see something, a post, it actually sends a request to the backend, and we can see all the data in here. We made a GET request to our backend, and it responded me with this, with these, with this data. Okay, these are all the entries which have been rendered here in the front end. This can be a bit too much for beginners, but in simple terms, we are just requesting for data, and then we are getting, and then we are rendering that data. So this is all about front end and back end. Front end is just for showing things, and back end for like getting the data. Like let's click on this entry, and it's showing this data like the title is this, this is the body. Where are we getting this data from? We are actually making a request to backend, and it responding with this data, and the front end is rendering that data here. Front end is responsible for showing the data, okay, and backend is responsible for sending us the data we require. And so what was discussed, the front end was discussed, backend was discussed, and database. Now let's come to the database. Like whatever we were getting, like I just requested to see this this entry, like whatever I just created now in front of you. Now where are we getting this data from? I'll just say that we are getting the data from backend. The backend is not actually like it is sending us the data, but it is not where the like it is also requesting from somewhere. Like it is requesting the database to give the data. It's not actually a request. It is connected to the database where all the database where all the data like the users and the posts are stored, and the backend is searching for the data in the database and then relaying it to us. Let's see it for ourselves. This is the database, okay? For this project, this is the database. We have users. Now let's not go into like how I opened this. This is I'm hosting the database online, and this is where the database data is all stored, and this is where the backend gets the data and sends us. See, we have a entry for Jon Snow, like we just entered from this, like the user exists, okay? These are all the users. And from this is where it is being checked like Jon Snow exists or not. Like if you are logging into Facebook, it also checks that you exist or not, and then it sends the data. Like if all the credentials are correct, then some data is sent back. And let's check the entries. We just created this one. Let's make another one. Let's set the date. Let's keep it like that. Let's whatever. And we just made this. Okay, we sent a request to the backend to create this entry. What the backend does, it will create an entry in our database. Let's check. So I'm reloading it from the start. We'll see at the end we have our entry. We can see title workshop example 2, and the content is this, and this is where from the data is being sent back. Now when I go to this newly created entry, we just made a request to the backend, and the backend searched for it in our database, like which entry the user wants to see. And I want to see this, what I just click that, and it will check the database for that, and from here it will send us back a response. Let's see the response. Now this format is actually in JSON. It's just a data format. If you are just wondering what is JSON, it's just a format of sending data. We can send data as a simple string, or we can as paragraphs, but there's certain like standards for sending data, and JSON is quite popular for that. It's quite easy to deal with it. So we are sending, it's kind of like an object if you are familiar with object-oriented languages. If you're not, don't worry, like there's not too much, like there's this key and there's the value. Like there's a title, and there will be the content and the date, and other there are various other information like which user made this ID. And this is just that I'm just trying to show you like what data is actually coming. This data is actually coming from backend, and that is being rendered here. If you have any queries, you can ask. I'm seeing it now.
Actually, what Jaidev is showing is a special case where the data which comes is in the form of JSON. It's not in the form of, say, HTML. It's not HTML. If you can go into the headers,
Yeah.
Jaidev.
Mm.
So if you see the response headers, and you can see the content type is application validation. And now, if you can go to any google.com, say, where Jaidev. Now, just open that the dev tools. Make a request.
Now we can let's see the network. This actually is I think we cannot actually see.
Yeah, the text field. This is the text field. Just actually make a request here. Can you?
So the data which is coming, which can be in different formats. Okay, it can be in HTML,
It's a
it can be in JSON.
As you can see, it's a text plain format. So that's it.
You can just send text, plain text too, but to like organize it, which is most popular for organizing data so that everyone can understand it. JSON is quite popular and we use it. You'll see that like it is very popular. Everyone uses that. So let's not go much into it. We will see that we'll get to it slow. So that's it. Like I've tried to show to you in real time what is happening. This is the front end, back end, and the database. Whatever wherever you go, like Google or Facebook, not every site has a database like which needs to store some data, like users or posts that has a database. Most of them do. So this is how like things work. There's a front end. It makes the request to back end for some data, and the backend searches in the database for that data and relays it to us, and we can all see it here. Okay, all the various details. This can be really get like very high level for you, so I'm not recommending you to go into this. Don't use the dev tools now. We will go into slow. We will explain it to you how to use it. So I'm just showing to you like how it works. It just request. We are making a request and we are getting responses.
Okay.
This is all. If you have any queries, if they we cannot make a request directly to a database. Okay, we need a backend. I don't understand. Time lag between request and response. Yeah, like let me show you. These are actually in milliseconds. You can see.
You're not sharing the screen, Jaidev.
Oh, no. Anyway, there is a lag. Okay. I'm sorry, I cannot show it to you, but there is a lag. Usually, I think in milliseconds. You can see it from the dev tools, but I will not advise it. Okay, there's some lag. Okay, we are making a request and it is sending us. Of course, it will take some time. Now we want it is preferable that the data comes very fast. Okay, so we optimize it. What is key? Now key is related to JSON. JSON is like a data format. There's a for your convenience, there's a field and there's a value. There's a key and there's a value. Key can be like title, name, and value can be your name. Key can be title, and value can be the name, like the title of the post or the entry you created. Now, this is how we can like access the data better. Anything else? Not able to. I cannot get you, Siddhant. You don't have like really get into like what key is. Key is actually just a term. Okay, you can call it whatever. Like it's a label for something, label for your data. Like data is coming, but what data is coming? What type of data it is? Like there is a label like name and last name, email. You don't need to get into it. Okay, it's not important. Yeah, name of the data. Yeah, label of the data. Yeah, we cannot just send the data hoping that the like receiver will like the understand of what kind of data is, what type of data is. We cannot just send our names and emails separated by commas and hope that the client will understand which is which. We have to specify like this is the name, this is the email.
Okay. Are there any more doubts, or should we wrap up?
Yeah, website be faster without. Yeah, it will be faster because you have to get one more file for the CSS, but you don't want your website without CSS. CSS, it makes the site look like a site. Like
Design.
without CSS, he like Sarthak has really shown to you like what happens when we remove the CSS. Just bare bones. You cannot interact with the site properly. The slides will join the Discord server. We will share the slides, whatever has been like shown to you there. This is being. I think it is being recorded. Recorded. It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. You can watch it again. Anything else? We are about to wrap up.
I'll just wrap. If there is the protocol to wrap up, then I'll just summarize whatever we have done so that we can wrap up.
Link of Discord server.
You must have received a mail where the Discord server link is is clickable. I'll just reply to that thread again in the mail with the link, with the invite link, so you can join the Discord server from there. Okay. Anything else?
YouTube channel link. Like just search for
Geek Heaven.
Geek Heaven.
Approach to Geek Heaven हो रहा है.
चैनल का नाम अप्रोक्सा है
प्रोक्षा पे
अप्रोक्सा just search for Aproxa, you will get it like, or just search Aproxa month 2020. We'll send it to you, okay? Proper mail with all the links. We'll send it to you. You don't need to worry, okay? I think like there are no more queries. I'm wrapping up.
Okay, so I'll just summarize whatever happened. So this was an intro, but we maybe went a little bit deeper than you may have you can digest. So there's no need to worry about that stuff. Whatever we have covered it. The programming stuff is yet to come, which is you have 1 day break, which you can chew on this stuff and digest this As I said, your task is to go through the HTTP headers. Even if you don't get it, just read it through. You don't have to, become a master at the first day. Okay, that's just remove it from your head, right? It's always learning as a gradual process. You will not understand. You may think that you understand everything, but later on you realize you don't understand it, or you may not realize it, understand it now, but you will be a master uh, after some time. So there's no need to worry. This was like I also, looking back, think that some things may have gone more complex than we wanted. So the first topic was intro to web, where we just explain how this data is sent. Okay, essentially the web development or websites are connections which enable us to transfer data. Data is the website because it is coming from a server to a client, so it is being sent from uh, to some medium, and I explain what is internet, just the connection of computers. Then web is the software running on it, which provides a website. Then we came to what front end and back end is, and Sarthak explained it beautifully there, that HTML is just bones, and then CSS designs and JS making it interactive, clickable, which the three languages you will learn and you will make your own site. Don't worry, okay? If you follow along, every one of you, each one of you will have your own site created. And hopefully that will be a portfolio website or some kind of introduction website that you can use it afterwards. So just follow along, be patient. Maybe it's very hard the first time, like maybe you think that many people know much greater stuff than me, and how will I able to cope up with that. And just so let me tell you that I didn't know anything till the second semester, so that's not a concern. You just keep patience and keep learning, okay? Whatever you get. And then the third one was Jaidev, which showed some practical stuff so that you can get it in practically and visually. That's more easier, I think. And I hope that has been a good influence to you, our introduction to web technologies, what it is. And hopefully you'll be creating your own websites soon. That's it from the development wing today. We'll take care of the language issue, which was like English and Hindi. We'll be speaking in English later on, taking strict instruction for that. So we'll be meeting up like day after tomorrow, I guess, with HTML. So the first language of maybe your career, if you have not started, HTML, which is not a programming language, which will be covered later. So all the best, and study. We'll share the slides, resources, additional resources, and other stuff. Answer doubts on Discord server. So be on there on the Discord server. I'll be sending the link through mail right now to the as a reply to the previous mail. Okay. So see you all there. Thanks for listening. That's it. Thank you.